Damn. I didn't know it was going to be 74 degrees today.
I did, because I stalk the weather. It is something that I've done since childhood. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, but I not out of fear, it's just something I like compulsively check. I don't know why. When I was younger, and there used to be this thing called a newspaper delivered to everybody's houses, with the phone book.
In the yellow pages.
Yep. The book of numbers and addresses that they used to give out.
Which is so wild to me. Like,
fucking murderers.
Live?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, she lives here. I'm going to drive over there. There's only 3 Stephanie Palmers. I'll find her.
Yes. We used to look up teachers and prank them.
Oh my God. So anyways, when the paper used to come every Sunday, I would cut out the weather report and I would put it up in my room.
Why aren't you a meteorologist?
I don't know. I would have been a great TV personality. I don't know why. I should have.
It's your life's purpose if you ever
maybe because my side profile fucking sucks.
Maybe it's because if my hair isn't curled, I go into a fucking rage.
Maybe it's because I'm bald on one side of my head. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Kathleen and Richard, for the thinning hair.
Guys, I've like 30 minutes before we get on here, so there's been a whole slew of things we've discussed before we
real talk. I've always been bald on the sides of my head. Like, that's nothing new. It's not aging. That's just my hairline, like just right here, bald. This is it. That's the extent of my side hair. Oh, all right. Here we go. My face looks swollen, like I got my wisdom teeth out. So I assure you that I have it. That's what I'm saying. Like this is, I have only had the checkups that are recommended. No dental work. This is how messed up your brain gets when you're PMSing. I feel like I look like a muffin.
Dude. That was me last time I recorded. I was like, I can't even look at myself right now.
And not an edible muffin, might I add. Not a fun, delicious muffin that you're like, I can't wait.
Over the pan and, just, like,
and the crystals of sugar and the icing. I'm the brand muffin that's been out for a couple of weeks that they forgot to pull off the shelf.
We really don't talk bad about ourselves like this, guys.
No, it literally is only for Ed because I know it's not real.
I know.
In a week, I'm gonna be like, I'm so cute.
Baddest bitch on the planet.
That's how fucked your brain gets. It's so wild to me, and I know that 90% of women experience this, and it's fucking stupid. It's a joke at this point, which is why I am a brand muffin. Anyways.
Well, and welcome that's why I bring it up to clients a lot too, and it's not to discredit their emotions, but I'll ask them, like, when was your last period? Because that's a very real fucking thing for your moods to be out of control. Yes.
I'm not a male doctor in the 1960s trying to write it off like you're a psycho.
Yes,
I'm trying to validate the fact that our brains and hormone cycles and shit is stupid as hell, and that I can understand you feel that way. Let's challenge it because last week you loved yourself and this week you're struggling.
Yes.
Anyways.
But we are back for episode 81.
Episode 81. Here we go.
81. Woo-hoo. And this episode was brought to you by Mari. She just was not feeling in a great mood. And I was like, let's fucking talk about it. Cause I'm gonna be real honest. This is an emotion that I feel on the daily.
This has been 2 days. And shit's for the birds. I'm so irritated. And like everything and everyone is irritating me. Some for very good reasons and some just because it's the lens in which I've been viewing the day. So then I'm like, that's another reason I'm irritated.
But here's the thing. Mari knows one reason that Mari knows she's PMSing is because she gets irritable, because Mari is not an irritable person. And so I joke a lot when she feels this way, because I'm like, bitch, I feel like that way every day. And she's like, well, how do you function? I don't know. I just do.
I literally don't get that, because my skin is crawling right now. Like that's how like out of control irritated I feel. Like I want to punch a kitten. Like I just want to like hit someone for no reason. Like and it's not for no reason. Like it's hormones playing, but like there's not like a legitimate reason of like my bank card got stolen and somebody racked up 10 grand. It's literally I woke up and I was like, but even still, like it's not even like I woke up like that. Like I went to bed with a headache, which was upsetting. Also hormonal. So I knew that was happening, but I woke up. I had a great bike ride. I PR'd this morning, so that was amazing. And I had a great lift. So Soph and I did not argue this morning too much. Got her off to school. My one appointment canceled, so basically had a whole day off. I was very productive, but my productivity came from after bringing Soph to school. I came home. I, washed the dishes. I didn't wash the dishes. I came home. I made breakfast. And then as I was eating breakfast, what I do is like I give myself the time that I'm eating to be able to scroll social media. Otherwise, sometimes I can't like rein it in. Like I'll just be on there for hours and I don't want to do that. So case in point, why I do not have TikTok on my phone or the iPad anymore. I don't have access to it at all unless people send it to me, because I cannot regulate. Like I can't.
She could never listen.
I can't. Especially it's been getting bad with reels lately. And I want to be like, I can't delete Instagram. Like that's how I do my business. So like I'm going to have to really rein it in. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do yet, but I really need to rein it in. So I was giving myself the time, made my breakfast, and I was like, this is a delicious ass breakfast, chock full of carbs, fats, protein. This is amazing. I'm fueling my body. This is going to keep me full until lunch and maybe beyond. So exciting. And then I opened up Instagram and started scrolling reels. And let me tell you, last night, I was scrolling reels in bed. And I was on an algorithm. What algorithm do you think I was on, Stephanie?
ADHD, I would assume, or mental health.
Yeah, mental health, but mainly focusing in on ADHD, but mental health. Let me preface this. I don't know why I'm on that algorithm. I don't like other ADHD content, period. There is like 1 or 2 people that I will follow and 1 or 2 like mental health people that I will follow. Other than that, my algorithms should be Amazon influencers, plants, books.
Yeah.
And like animals. That should be my algorithm. And traveling. Those should be my algorithms, or gluten-free people, because I do follow some gluten-free people who like post like places they go eat because I don't want to go eat, or recipes. I do follow a lot of people who do recipes. Anyways, the point is I don't follow that shit or like that shit, so I don't know why it was showing up. So I got real irritable. Then to make myself feel better, because I wasn't going to be able to go to bed, I forced Jeff to look at mine and Steph's Instagram conversations because we're fucking hilarious. So I showed him the one of the guy getting into the car, and then I stuffed the blanket into my pants, and I was like, this is what he looks like. Yeah. You look like an ass. You look like, so then that made me feel so much better. Here's the other thing. Let me just put this on Do Not Disturb, because what I cannot be is everybody's personal therapist. So please stop messaging me. Anyways, I want to be there for people. I absolutely do. I also need to, better yet, I've already hit my move ring for the day, so I really don't even need that on. So, see, guys, boundaries, set boundaries. And also I won't be able to concentrate. So I was showing Jeff that. I got myself back together and I felt okay. I went to bed, woke up, was doing the breakfast thing, and then right back on it again. I was like, I didn't even like anything for this to come up. This doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening to me? Sure. So then I was able to be like, okay, what am I noticing? How am I noticing that my body is getting irritated? I'm starting to get that, like, I get like an itchy feeling and my heart starts racing. Not like in the sense of like panic, but just like, oh, this is so irritating. And I've been noticing a lot lately. I don't like clench my jaw, but like my tongue fidgets a lot. Like I'll push against my teeth, or like I'll like flip, like I'll turn around, or like, you know, go like the hot dog. Like my tongue gets fidgety and I get like irritated because I feel like I'm trying to like have a different fixation besides staring at this. Like I think my body's trying to be like, Mari, get up. This is not serving a purpose for you anymore. You're like, you're getting noticeably irritated. So then I tossed it across the table and I was like, that's it. Jeff was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm irritated again. It's back on. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. So instead, I'm going to do these dishes. So then I got on to doing the dishes. The dishes, I think I've talked about this before. It's my gateway chore. It's like my gateway drug. I see them done and I'm like, okay, let's keep this moving. Let's keep this momentum going. So then I went and did all my reminder emails for the next 2 weeks because I come back from Boston. It's kind of like a weird thing. I don't know if I'll have time. So I did all the following week's emails too. Excuse me. And then I threw a load of laundry in, and the day progressed being productive. So it felt really good to continuously do those things, mark things off of my list, attempt to start rewiring my brain, hacking that dopamine to get out of this irritation mood. And I noticed that when I start to slow down and come to now where I need to be present and focused, it's like the irritation is starting to creep back in. So that's telling me, okay, you did a really good thing by distracting yourself, but you need to work on the thoughts behind it now, because all you did was push that off. And so now it's all coming back forward. And so what I need to recognize is right now, I know what the root is. The root is, and I was thinking about this last night too, is that as therapists, and yet I would like think about prefacing this with like, all medical professionals probably feel this way, but I am not all medical professionals. So I need to talk about my experience as a therapist who has helped people get through the 2016 election, the 2020 election, race riots and wars going on. Not that that is anything new. Getting through COVID and all the variants, all of the things that are coming with COVID, like murder hornets and lockdown, and, you know, people losing jobs or layoffs or not having enough money. the fear of the, vaccine and like what that's going to do, getting people through the Roe v. Wade overturn and like women's rights issues, and like it is a fucking RPG diet. Like it's just been one thing after another to make it out of all of that, which has been mentally exhausting as a therapist, because a lot of those things, one, we don't have answers for, two, we do not have control over, and three, it's affecting us directly, personally, to then be inundated, flooded with social media exploding over the past couple of years, because we really haven't had much to do because everybody had time, to just be inundated with this inappropriate, dangerous spread of misinformation about mental health disorders and what the criteria looks like, and just this reaching for a label. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying. And it's like unpacking that further. It's like, one, this constant battle of not wanting to invalidate somebody's experience. And attempting to keep that at the forefront of our mind. And also still balance the fact that I'm a fucking human and I have my own emotions about this.
While
and
also being ethically sound.
Yes. Like this is such a bias for me. So much, like more so than maybe anything that I have faced in my career. Like it's just so hard for me to, I don't want to say to be empathetic, but to just be like, to not invalidate that person and be like, social media isn't real. If they don't have degrees, first and foremost, you should not be listening to them, period. But if they have degrees and they're putting content out like this, I would really encourage you to take a step back and potentially go seek someone's professional help that isn't on a social media platform that is designing Reels videos to be able to generate traffic to their site. Like I clicked on a couple of the people's pages who were not professionals. And it was like coach, in the title and like programs and like my things and it like and again, going further, digging deeper, there's no credentials behind it. Mm-hmm. There's no like science behind what they're spewing out or what they're saying. And that is infuriating to me. Mm-hmm. And so it's just this underlying building irritation that I have to now challenge my thoughts surrounding it, looking at it like radical acceptance. I don't have control over this situation. Correct. I don't have control over people putting out this information. I do not have control over it resonating with people and or people assigning labels to themselves. I can only focus on what I have control over, and that's myself and how I react to this situation. Mm-hmm. So instead of wanting to haul off and spew a bunch of different things, I went on Facebook and I just put a post, basically what I just said, of making it through all of those things to get to this point where this misinformation is being spread. Please seek out medical help, professional medical help, if you have questions or are concerned. Like, and just putting that out there as a general census of like, okay, that's what I can control. And now I can control the fact that now, as I'm seeing these people come up, I'm going and blocking them. So They don't come up in my feed anymore because I don't want to see that shit. I don't.
I think what's also, sorry, my allergies are bad. Hopefully I'm not getting sick. Anyways, I think what is also difficult for me to accept and frustrating is that you see these things on social media and you relate to them.
Yeah.
Now you are given official diagnostic criteria to then go back and tell a professional that this is what you're experiencing, like word for word based on what somebody else has stated. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's not accurate. Sometimes it's just that you're really, really wanting to feel validated in your experience. And I understand that. But if you are not fully experiencing these things and you just maybe related to this person, you're giving false information, and that could lead to a wrong diagnosis. And that's dangerous.
And it could lead to wrong medication. It could lead it's such a trickle effect. It could lead to the wrong type of mode of therapy your therapist wants to use with you. Mm-hmm. Please hear me when I say this, that you can go into a therapist. My hope, right? I can't say this for certain. My hope and my assumption is that you can go into a therapist and say, I am really struggling with daily tasks. Mm-hmm. I'm really struggling with showering daily. I'm really struggling with blah, blah, blah. You will get the validation that you need, that you want. You do not have to make it this giant thing of, I haven't been able to get out of bed for days. Mm-hmm. Everything has to be organized a certain way.
I'm dissociating.
Oh my God.
Things don't feel real. I don't feel like I'm in the real world.
It's a simulation. Mm-hmm. It makes me want to scream. Mm-hmm. Like, your experience is enough. Period. I don't need to live your experience. I don't need to know everything that goes on in your life to know that you're a human and you're struggling. That's all I need. And if you'd like a diagnosis, okay, we can start to look at what you're experiencing, but please allow me to look at the symptoms and what you're discussing with me over a period of sessions to then formulate a diagnosis. Mm-hmm. You're not going to come in, dump everything, and get something. That's not accurate. Mm-hmm. And, when we're working with insurance companies, they definitely do want a diagnosis right away, which most therapists use something similar to an adjustment disorder just to be able to say, like, there's different things coming up in this person's life that they're struggling adjusting to, and then we assess over a period and then change the diagnosis to something that is more formal and is more accurate, right? Correct. But like, our hands are tied by insurance companies, which is why Steph and I don't take insurance companies in our private businesses, because I think they are highly unethical. For multiple reasons. However, we don't need to talk about that today.
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother irritation.
But bringing it back to like the core of irritability, right? Mm-hmm. So when I can feel that my irritability is more tied to being hormonal, I know that there are very few people that I'm going to want to have a conversation with. And this is not talking about clients. This is like being interactive with people, like on the internet, right? Mm-hmm. It is not a personal attack on anybody. It is me preserving our friendship because I don't want to come off as an asshole because I don't feel like talking. Because literally like anything can push me over the edge, and maybe like shit that I thought was funny yesterday, I feel like is irritating today. So I'm not going to respond to it because I just don't have it in me to like fake being entertained by it. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
So I tend to back off on social media. Like I'll post my workouts like I do anyways, but I try not to just like scroll endlessly because I know that it's just going to piss me off more. So I will try to just like focus on reading or cleaning my house or do it like watching a movie that's funny, you know, like doing things that I know aren't going to further irritate me that I can control at least. Right.
100% understand that. And I like to be able to understand what I understand that. I like to also look at it from a visualization standpoint of if I know that I'm hormonal, or I know that there was a certain situation that upset me, or whatever that it may be, right? Or like having a no call, no show, right? Like certain things I know irritate me. I like to envision like when you go to just bring irritation in. My internet just did its thing that it always does, so we just have to sit here until it comes back on. It's the universe trying to be like, let's see if Mari's gonna become unhinged today. Anyways, like I was saying, I like to visualize like when you go to the optometrist and they put that thing to see what lens or what prescription you need. So when they're saying like lens 3 or 4, I like to view every irritation as like adding another lens, so that if you don't clear away those irritations, and when I say clear, meaning maybe challenging the cognitive error and or recognizing maybe what like the underlying issue is of like, okay, I'm hormonal. I'm not going to be hormonal for a week. So I need to take that and set it aside and understand that I am looking at the situation that I'm in right now with that lens on. So it's already muddied, and it's going to be muddier than it would have been had I not had that lens on. So I need to remove that lens and or just acknowledge that it's there, and then continue on with just coming back to this radical acceptance moment of I can't change what's happening right now, but I can understand that it's the present moment and that's the moment that I'm in, and that until that moment passes, this is where I'm at. And being able to understand that a radical acceptance doesn't equal approval. Doesn't mean that you approve of the situation or approve of what's going on. It just means that, you're not going to continue to fight reality.
Correct. And it doesn't mean that you're like 100% okay with what happened. It's knowing that like no amount of me continuing to be mad about it is going to change the fact that it happened. So like, it is what it is. No amount of us being mad about what people are putting on social media is going to stop them from putting it on social media. So we just accept the fact that we can't control these people, and we don't follow them, or we unfollow them, or we block them, or whatever. Like that's self-preservation. It's not being petty. Like,
no, I mean, it's not like I'm commenting something and then blocking. Like, no, it's because trust me, there was
bitch block.
There was so many times last night that I wanted to be like, "Where's your fucking degree? Where's your degree?" Because the school of hard knocks is not a fucking degree. And I'm not saying, but no, I am. You have to have a degree. You do. For this, you do. You do. Period. You can have an experience. You can have real life moments where you have experienced these things, but that doesn't mean you go and put out the statements. If you experience this, you have this, or you might have this. Don't even say that shit.
No, you can say my experience with ADHD is this. My experience with depression is this. Share your story, share your journey, but don't tell people what they do or don't have.
Right. You might have this because I do. No, fucking
only people with XYZ can do this. What?
Oh my God. If I see one more neurotypical and neurodivergent post, I'm going to just break a window.
Yep. Yes.
So I think it is helpful to first recognize in your body, becoming like doing body scans, mindful moments to be able to recognize where you are in the day, to notice how irritation is starting to show up for you. It is usually always going to be a body cue first.
Sure.
Usually, well, for me, usually a body clue that I'm starting to get irritable.
You know,
or it's what?
If I hear somebody chewing or breathing and I'm like, if you chew one more time, I'm going to lose it. Like, that's what I know it's bad, is when I can't handle that at all.
Oh my God. That typically doesn't bug me. But like yesterday, or was it this morning? It was this morning. There was two instances. I was throwing in the load of laundry and I use the little pods and I always leave the top off because it's faster. It's faster for me to reach my hand in there and just throw something. I should just throw the top away realistically, because I don't ever put the top back on. And Jeff puts it back on every single time. Not even resting it, he puts the top on.
No. Do you have to unscrew it or whatever? No.
I brought it upstairs today and I slammed it on the table and I said, stop putting the top on. It's irritating me. Please take the top off. Because I couldn't get it off. In my bags right now, he's moving on. Literally in my fit of frustration, I couldn't get it off. And he was like, and got it off. And he was like, Mari. And I was like, it slows me down. And that frustrates me even more, as being slowed down by other people. So then I came back upstairs and I pulled the blow dryer out because I had taken a shower and my hair was a little damp. And I was like, okay, I need to blow dry my hair because I don't want to get sick. And my door was being pushed forward and it irritates me when it pushes into me. And I noticed his stuff was on my hook. And so I went back in the kitchen and I said, and another thing, we have two hooks in the bathroom. One hook is your hook and one hook is my hook. Your hook has your rope and my hook has my rope. Please put your clothes on your hook. And he was like, Buttercup. And I was like, I already moved your stuff. Please focus on your own hook.
But that's how you know something's off, because you're not like that.
I'm not, but I literally it was like my eyeballs itched. That's how irritated I was. So I noticed first, usually a physical, and or if like little situations start to piss me off like that, I'm like, oh, okay, we're going down a road here. So I think it's first and foremost, you need to recognize that you're irritated. If you don't recognize when you're irritated and it's already just these explosions, that just my advice would be that there needs to be some work done on emotional regulation and distress tolerance. I would love to see, I would love to see you go work with a therapist on building those skills. If you want to do it yourself, Pinterest has a slew of things you can look up. You can Google what is mindfulness. You can Google, how do I regulate my emotions? There's many, many, many different things out there if you don't feel like going to a professional. I realistically think the professional is going to go faster. However, that is the first part for me. Then it's doing things to distract myself. If I don't have time to sit and think about the thoughts or work on the situations or, things, the situations that I'm in that are creating that irritation for me. Like today, distracting myself with doing a bunch of things that I know create and generate positive, happy feelings for me. And then now coming to this point and being able to talk about the things that are irritating me and then recognize what's within my control. Take a step back. What's within my control? Myself and how I react. So then how do I need to proceed going forward? One, this is a message to myself that I do not need to be on social media as much as I have been. That's telling me something, because that's skyrocketing. Two, if I am, start blocking people, which I have started doing. Start blocking people. Remove the apps, if you can, of the things that irritate you. There's no need to go on it. There are plenty of other things that you get joy from. Reading, listening to music, doing your bullet journal. Go do those things. Those are things that I get joy out of. Or even just going to do a workout downstairs. If you have hours to scroll, you can go walk downstairs on the treadmill. I'm not saying like you have to or whatever, but that's what brings me joy. I'm saying I don't have to go downstairs and run hills or sprints and shit. I can just walk at a 2.5 and listen to my book. Like those things bring me joy and happiness versus spending too much time on things that do nothing for me. They're unfulfilling.
Yep.
So that's my advice. And if all else fails, fucking lock yourself in your room for a little bit.
I mean, that's also what I do, is I will isolate myself because it's to preserve myself and the people around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I also won't answer like FaceTimes. Like,
no, oh my God.
It's not going to be a good conversation. So.
Well, and you also get a lot of FaceTimes.
Yeah.
You're literally the only person I FaceTime, and that's like.
Yeah, but you also asked me if you can do it first.
Yeah, and I think I've FaceTimed you like 3 times in our friendship. So it's weird to me. I'd rather Marco you and you just look at it when you have time.
Fair.
I just think it's intrusive. Just being like, where are you? Like, I don't like that. It's weird. I'll just not answer.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you're FaceTiming me, I know it's like something's going on because we usually Marco.
Yes.
Anyways.
I think I've FaceTimed you in times of crises before.
Yeah. Which I really honestly have twice maybe in our friendship. I don't really feel like it's whatever. Anyways. Sometimes I go on those tracks of like really trying to figure it out and I'm like, fucking stop. Another irritation.
I feel it.
Oh, okie dokie. Do you have any advice for when you're noticing that you're irritated, things that you do that help you either calm down, make it through, and or alleviate some of that irritation?
I think the biggest thing, and this is something that I've only started doing the last couple of years, is like really sticking true to my boundaries and not doing something to appease another person, because that's going to irritate me even more than I'm going above and beyond to do something to make you happy when I'm already in a fucking mood. So I'm not going to go out of my way to make plans with somebody to go do something if I am miserable. That's not going to help me. I know that. Like, there are times that I just have to be alone in my room for a few hours, or I just have to be alone on my couch for a few hours. But like, I've worked really hard to recognize those things and to stick with those plans versus like, well, I feel bad because they're going to be upset, or they really need my help, or they really wanted to see me. Here's the thing. I'm not going anywhere. So like, it'll happen when it happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you don't want to see me right now.
Exactly.
I'm not going to be nice to you. Like, and not
going to be entertaining. I'm not going to be fun.
Well, yeah, not that I'm not going to be nice, but I'm not, I definitely don't have the emotional, space to hold whatever you want to talk about or hang out about, or like it's you're gonna get flat affect from me when that's how you know. That is a big part of how you know that I'm irritated. I have no affect. It's just flat.
Affect is like your facial expression.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, like I'm flat. Like, I'm not smiling. My eyes aren't, like, I'm a very facially expressive person. When I'm irritated, I'm like so it's like, look what I did at school. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And my overstimulation of things is pretty high.
Yeah.
When I'm irritable. So
I have no tolerance.
I try to limit the amount of stimulation around me.
Yeah, I have no tolerance for anything. Like, my sock seam could be wrong and I'll burn the house down. And I don't even wear socks. So that's how you know it's a problem. I literally, socks are stupid. It's probably because I have ADHD. It's probably why I don't wear socks. So fucking, and then I become a sarcastic asshole. So like,
I get it.
Sorry if that offended anybody. Sorry, not sorry, hashtag. Okay. I feel somewhat better.
Good.
It's probably because I have this energy drink.
Laughing.
And it's like, oh yeah, that I'm talking to you, so that obviously does. But like, you ever like treat yourself with like little things, and you're like,
yes,
this'll treat me. This'll cheer me up. That's literally how I feel about sparkly, like fizzy soda type things. It's a treat. I'm like, yum. It's so weird. So weird. I think that's because we could never have things like this when I was little.
Fair
but
point.
I'm like, oh.
Yes, it feels like you're being like rebellious.
And the only person you're disappointing is yourself. Because newsflash, I'll be up till 11. Just pissed.
Well, that was my second drink of the day. So
pissed I can't sleep. No, caffeine doesn't affect me like that. Pre-workout, honestly, caffeine doesn't. It's because I have ADHD. I guess seriously, like our tolerance for caffeine really is like high. I don't know. I've never been one that's really been affected too much by caffeine, but pre-workout, that's the only thing that I'm like, that'll keep me up at night. Oh man. I remember one time I took it when we got done working at Rogers. I had to do a night workout for some reason. I took it at like 5:30 and I was like, this is such a bad idea. Sure as shit. I was out like 1 a.m. 1 a.m. It was a whole moment. Anyways, you can find us at Rewriting Her Story Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. And please, any questions, concerns, comments, please let us know. Any topics, ideas that you have, please let us know. You can find Steph at The Spooky Therapist. You can find me at BEA_XO11. Yeah. I'm so used to saying the other part because we've been doing a lot of interviews. I'm like, I know. There's no one else here. Until next time, you guys. Bye. Bye.